A lot of people think that mixing starts in the DAW. In reality, mixing starts the moment you place a microphone. And today I will demonstrate that with a real example. It's all about the way we think about recording in general, because recording determines about 80% of the final sound of a mix. And mixing alone cannot fix a recording that wasn't shaped with intention. It's not just about capturing things well, it's about having a sound from the start, a vision. That's why the best producers and engineers mix while they record. Let's talk about recording piano as an example, because just like drums, you can record a piano in so many different ways. The mic choice and placement determine how it fits into the mix. So when I record any instrument, I think about the role it will play in the song. So before I set up any mic, I will ask myself, is this piano meant to be bright and percussive, or do I want it to be warm and deep? And these choices are not just about recording, they're mixed decisions made in advance. So let's say that I want a punchy, cutting piano tone that sits well in a pop or rock track. For this, I normally use a pair of SM57s on the beater to capture the attack. Because 57s are not overly bright, they focus on the mid-range, helping the piano to cut through a dense mix. But here's my secret weapon, the LA3A compressor. And whenever I can, I use an analog one on the way in, or I will use a plugin in the mix, because the LA3A grabs transients in a way that adds weight without killing the attack. I added a link below to my favorite version of the LA3A plugin. But let's say I want something fuller, more natural and hi-fi sounding. For this, I'll normally go with a pair of C414s or C12s inside the piano, about 2 inches from the strings, to capture richness and sustain. And one of the biggest mistakes people make is ignoring the room, the acoustics. The space you record in matters just as much as the mic you choose, the instrument, or the performer. And learning how to use a room's natural tone can completely change how an instrument sits in the mix. And while I'm here at Sonic Ranch, I'm using 2 different pairs of room mics. One is a stereo ribbon mic on the side of the piano to capture the big warm room, but it also captures the entire piano together. I normally walk around the piano until I find a sweet spot, and I put the mic right there. And since we were also recording drums in here, I have U87s in Omni mode, capturing the space. So I thought, why not use them for a piano too? Because it's a bit like having an extra reverb in the recording that I can use in the mix. The idea is to blend these together in the mix, giving you different tones to play with. And that's why I love recording in real character-filled spaces, because you get a natural depth and dimension and resonance in the recording. And of course, it's just as much about the musicians and the instruments too.
Peace and love.
Put another drummer or a piano player behind the instrument and it will sound completely different. Take this drum sound for example. It's not just about recording and mixing, it's a sum of many factors. How the drummer plays, the time he spent tuning the drum skins, the tea towel on the snare, and then there's the warm sounding preamps of the Neve console. Everything matters. And as a recording engineer, you shape the sound from the start. But if you only step in at the mix stage, much of that control is already gone. And that's why I see recording and mixing as one continuous process. And even when I'm only mixing a song, I try to be involved early on, because the best records happen when everything is connected. And all of the things I've mentioned in this video lead to one truth. You have to know where the song is going before you hit record. And the beautiful thing is that when you record with intention, it's like you've already started the mix before the sound even reaches the DAW, simply by choosing the right mics and sound sources. And right now, I have one spot open for my super exclusive 4-month mentorship, where we dive into mixing, recording, career strategy, or whatever is important to you. This is a personalized one-on-one experience designed to help you develop your own sound and identity as an engineer or producer. And there's a link in the description below.